Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I need some water here because I'm recording all these videos and making my throat dry and sore. There you go. But yes, I am back with the next character in this long-running series of Newcomer ideas for Smash Bros. Ultimate Future Smash Bros. Games. And as always, just let if this intro gets way too out of hand, 3 simple categories. Why does character make sense? Percentage chance, I'm throwing myself off now. Reasons why they make sense again, moveset ideas, and percentage chance to see them again. We are on the last 25 of the road to 150 of Newcomer ideas for this series. Once I get to 150, I'm done. It took me forever, but I can say I'm done with it. 126 last time was Raiden from the Mortal Kombat series. This time we are back talking about another Nintendo character from another Nintendo franchise that has yet to be in Smash Bros. Yet to be talked about. It's fairly new and decently popular, even though it has some haters. I never played it myself, so I have no idea. But it'd be cool to see a character from it to represent something new from them, to represent their mobile gaming side, and that's Euden. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. The Dragon Blood Prince from Dragalia Lost. Their first original mobile phone game. It's like a touch RPG, whatever. I have no idea. Like I said, I never played it. But I think it'd be cool to see a character from it, and the characters from the game actually sound interesting. So I wanted to talk about it anyways and give them a fair shot in this list. There we are. So without further ado, same thing as always, like I mentioned. Reasons why they deserve to get in. Moveset ideas, percentage chance, which now, given the game's out, percentage chance is solely based off DLC for the Fighter Pass, and not for, obviously base roster, because the game released last month, in December. So, okay, why does Dragalia Lost deserve to get into Smash Brothers? It helps represent a new Nintendo IP. It's one of Nintendo's franchises on the mobile, one of their most newest, semi-popular, not Fire Emblem Heroes level of popular, but I recall getting a sense of popularity from it, and it helps represent a new game from them. And that's really the only major reason I see it in. It's fairly popular and well received, so it's a fairly well received popular IP from them that they originated on their mobile game series. It's the first one that originates an original new IP. It's fairly popular. It's new. Its chances of it getting new games could be more. It could eventually probably get a legit game on a home console. Maybe a Switch gets Dragalia Lost 2. Maybe they eventually make it so they get people into the series with one game and they can continue it forward. And this is free marketing by throwing a character into the game. In and of itself, that's like the only reason they really have for it. And if it's well received and they continue it, and Smash Brothers is sometimes about marketing and advertising a good chunk of the time, why would they not throw a character in from this new series that would have some unique and interesting characters? And there's that. That's all I have. That's the most simplistic, to the point reasons for why they make sense I think I've had in this entire series, besides maybe a select few characters before. But that's all I really have for him, and it's like if Nintendo has a choice in the matter and they're picking these DLC characters, and if there is a Nintendo character, they probably would want to market one of the characters from a new game they have, and that was a new IP from them. So there you go. Moveset ideas. Now, people will probably complain about this because I see them complain about it all the time, and I mention it with a lot of characters I have in my series, given that I see complaints about it all the time, but you see what he's wielding there? It's called a sword. And I hear a lot of you out there hate sword users. But Smash doesn't care about that, nor do I. So I talk about various sword users because it's one of the most popular weapons in the history of the world. And he is a sword wielder. So there, gotta take it. Okay, but yes, sword. He's a sword wielder. He's quick and agile. He's a super quick, agile sword user, like a Marth, somewhat Shulk. Meta Knight's a little quick too. So in Link, sort of. He's a quick, agile sword user that moves around the stage very quick. He's going to be a fairly fast character. Probably not the fastest character, but pretty decent speed and agile, be able to dodge attacks, sword moves. Yes, that's not original, but boo-hoo. There are sword users out there. There's even sword users on the rumored list, like freaking Erdrick and Ryu Hayabusa, if they get into Smash Brothers. If that rumored list is true, there's numerous sword users in the game already, which, no, the sword users are not, it's not super sword bros. People make it seem like there's a crap ton, it's most of the roster. It's really only maybe a fourth of the roster, and even then that's not enough, because everyone else does special powers and punches and kicks and uses laser guns and everything, and karate. Sword users are not taking over Smash Brothers. I'm tired of hearing about that. He uses a sword. That doesn't make him super original, but it makes him interesting in his own way, and it makes him a character that has a potential chance to get into Smash Brothers. So his Smash attacks are all sword attacks, jabbing, stabbing, punching, uppercutting, slashing, whatever. And you could probably make him at least unique and different because there are different ways of wielding a sword. So there you go. Now, his special attacks are where he'll be at least semi-unique and different, so you don't have a straight-up sword user. You guys have a little bit of originality here. He could do what is called Exalted Fire, which is flame sword attacks. So, in a way, he has some similarities to Roy, but not exactly, because his fire comes from a dragon, because he's part dragon. So it's like a Corrin situation, too, which is probably not helping a lot of people that don't like Fire Emblem characters either. So yes, he can do a lot of flame sword attacks. A lot of his special attacks will be a lot of flame sword attacks, which are from the blazing circlet, which he has on his body, which I think it's one of his accessories. So his blazing circlet allows him to gather flames from his dragon form and throw them into his sword. I'm assuming that's what he does. I'm sorry, I never played the actual game. And freaking attack you with sword attacks. Uppercut. Fire stab! Charge! Just make him different sword attacks. Even if he doesn't do them in the actual game, you can have him do it there. And he also can do various dragon-based moves. He can partially, he can turn into full dragon form, but I'm not talking about that yet. That's his Final Smash spoiler. But he can turn partially dragon, so it's similar to Corrin, where he can do Dragon Haste. He can build up for attacks. That would be a special ability. I mentioned that with certain characters on this series, that they have certain special abilities that make them unique and different, like how Villager can take items and hold on to them, how there's the meter system, how long Robin can use his sword or his, tome for, characters like that, like the little thing, like the build up KO power meter for Lil Max, stuff like that. He has Dragon Haste. He can build up for attacks, which makes his, if he builds up to a lot more he builds it up, the stronger his attacks get. His Exalted Fire, his sword attacks, his everything else he does. So the more you build it up, the more damage you can cause with it until you build up all the way. And to make it not OP, it'll be like the KO meter for Lil Mac and whatnot. If you get hit, your meter drops. There you go. And you also do quick dragon attacks like Dragon Claw, so his arm can turn into a dragon and slash. So it's pretty similar to Corrin, which makes him not super unique, but you can do it differently because he's not an exact dragon like Corrin. So there you go, it's a little bit different. And then we get to the final smash, which is his dragon form, and he turns into a dragon, and he attacks everyone, and blows them up with fire, and claws them to death, or whatever the heck he does. It could be a cutscene-based one, it could just be a quick, he turns into a dragon and just attacks the stage and blows someone off the stage. I think cutscene will probably be a little more interesting, make it different to Corrin's. He will stand out and be different. He won't be a totally unique character, which a lot of people will probably hate, the fact that he's not even totally unique, but no character is totally unique. I'm sure like some characters on DLC will not be totally unique characters, but they'll have their own sense of uniqueness where even if they're not 100% unique, maybe they're 80 or 90 or 70% unique. There's a bunch of, there's so many characters in Smash Bros. At this point, no one's really going to be unique anymore. So yeah, Smash attacks, sword strikes. Special attacks, Exalted Fire, so fire sword attacks, quick dragon attack forms, Dragon Haste to build up his abilities, so on and so forth. Final Smash, dragon form, ultimate cutscene, attack, whatever. Percentage chance I could see him actually getting in. It's dependent on if Nintendo, since they worked on this list, if they're including any Nintendo characters, because a lot of the rumored character list is all third party, and there's other rumored lists that talk about third party in general. So unless we get more DLC afterwards in like a Fighter Pass 2 or something, a Nintendo character for DLC is probably not likely. But if we're getting, I'm going to say 2 percentages here. If we're getting the Nintendo character, I'm going to give him an 80% chance. Why? Because I'm sure Nintendo, picking the games, they're going to want to super heavily market their games. And it's one of their biggest, newest games to come out within the last year. So, and they're still putting content into it. So, and people are not playing Fire Emblem Heroes, they're playing freaking Dragalia Lost. And they're going to probably do updates and new games for it eventually. So I think Nintendo's choosing it. They're going to want to market it like that. If there is no Nintendo characters in it, that's obviously 0% chance, but whatever. I would say maybe about 20-30% chance if there is no Nintendo characters and they just whatever. The Nintendo franchises are screwed over for third parties in general. It depends on how Nintendo picked this thing, because I have no idea if they're going for all third party characters or not, because a lot of the heavily rumored characters are third parties, but we might see more DLC post this. But if not, maybe Dragalia Lost by the time Smash 6 comes around becomes Dragalia Lost 2, 3, 4, 5, becomes a series, gets more games, becomes more popular, it gets on the Switch's successor or the Switch or something. Maybe it'll become more of a series by then, and then possibly be one of the new characters in the next Smash Bros. Game. But this time, I'm going to say 80% if they go for any Nintendo characters at all, which doesn't seem to be super likely, sadly to say. But that's it for Euden. From, hoping I pronounced that right, Euden, the Dragon Blood Prince. Euden, from Dragalia Lost. There you go. Sorry. I butchered his name probably tremendously. What kind of comments do you guys think? Do you guys like Dragalia Lost? Would you like to see it represented in Smash Bros? Because I've seen mixed opinions on the game. I've never actually played it myself, so I have no freaking clue. But put it down there. Does my moveset make sense? Does Dragon Form and everything? I know it's not super unique, and I know some of you are probably going to hate the character for the fact that it pretty much borrows from like Roy and Corrin and all this other stuff. But I think it'd be a cool character to see, and I think it's a nice new franchise to represent, even though I never actually played it. And I think it has a future. They might push Dragalia Lost, and eventually we'll see a Smash Bros. Character, maybe not Euden, but maybe someone else from it if the series continues. But yeah, discuss it down there. Yeah, whatever. I have no idea. That's it for character 127. When I return next time for character 128, I'm going to be returning to another fighting game. I've talked recently about Raiden from Mortal Kombat, Heihachi from Tekken. This is going to be another Namco representation, but no, it's not going to be another Tekken character. It's going to be another Soul Calibur character. Alright, talked about Mitsurugi. Who else is a major character from that series but Nightmare? Character 128 next time will be Nightmare from Soul Calibur. Peace. Please, wherever you want to, have a lovely day, and see you all later. Bye.